Well, good morning, everybody. We're here in Lake Zurich, Illinois, a wonderful headquarters of Lake County. I would say this is one of the most beautiful areas to be in Chicagoland, and I bet most of us believe that to be true. My name is Ginter Rubin. I'm a president of Chicago International Trade Commission Association, and I have an honor to represent someone that him and I were born in the same area in the global presence of Lithuania, Vidmantas Verbickas. Welcome. He's Economic Development Council of Republic of Lithuania, my dear colleague, and he will be representing country of Lithuania and everything wonderful it has to offer. Floor is yours.
Thank you, Ginter. Good morning, everyone, and I'm really delighted and glad to be there for finally a live or hybrid presentation. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for your wonderful presentation today of Lake Zurich. When I was telling my colleagues that I'm going to make a presentation or to have a presentation today, they asked, how is your flight to Switzerland today? So no, this place is in Illinois, and I will have a chance to compare it to Switzerland. So far it looks perfect, and I hope to see it more of it a little bit later. But my task today is to present my native country, Lithuania. My name is Vidmantas Verbickas, and I am economic advisor for Consulate General of Lithuania in Chicago. Let's say, I was telling that joke about where I was going, so I would like to show on a map for somebody who might not know that Lithuania is a Baltic country in the European Union. This is the largest Baltic state with an area of more than 65,000 square meters. Population of a country is 2.8 million, but it is a part of 450 million of European Union consumers market. Lithuania is quite an old country, and Lithuanian language is considered as the oldest living Indo-European language in the world. Capital city is Vilnius, and Lithuania is a member of Western democratic part of the world. Different organizations. So first we joined World Trade Organization after regaining the independence. Then we joined NATO after we became a member of European Union, and we became a full member with joining Schengen area and also Eurozones. So Lithuanian currency is euro. And recently, a couple of years ago, we've joined exclusive economic club OECD, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, which accepts members on a very tight schedule and very tight terms. As we are holding this meeting in person, and it's for everybody important person, I cannot skip that topic of pandemic and COVID and how Lithuania performed in those 1.5 years. Economically, we made quite good. As you might see, that economic recovery index of this year by Euromonitor, Lithuania was first in Europe with GDP growing in the first quarter 1%, second globally after China. And if you could see on a map those bluish colors, only 4 countries managed to be in the plus area. This year, growth of exports of goods of Lithuanian origin amounted about 6%. We had coronavirus cases, more than 276,000, and death toll, unfortunately, 4,317 as for yesterday. Vaccination process is organized a little bit, let's say, more dynamic than average in European Union. Fully vaccinated, about 1/4 population, and first vaccine have got 41% as of yesterday. we have quarantine. I would compare it to phase 4 of Illinois situation. That little picture with QR code represents the digital passport for those who are free of COVID. Fully inoculated, they had the COVID disease or have negative tests. So for those like folks, the phase 5 is already in place. For the rest, we will see at the end of this month. Now, coming back to the economic performance, quickly let's scan through the data. I should mention a couple of things there, that Lithuania is a new democracy, a new recent democracy on the map. 31 years ago, we broke out from Soviet Union. That's why we have really 3 independence days. From the medieval ages, from 1918, when we regained again our independence, and 1990, March 11, when Lithuania became an independent country after the break from the Soviet Union. And on that day, we recognized that we are left alone in a big boat, because no direct foreign ties, all production in a centralized planned Soviet economy was going to a big mainland to Russia, and maybe afterwards some goods were sold to some foreign states. So we had to build everything from scratch. And even I cannot compare any statistical data from, let's say, early 90s, because we had real currency. Real currency we've introduced in 1994, which could be convertible, at least. And now we can see that GDP per capita is almost the same. I have checked as in Bahamas today, $39,000 US. GDP growth 1%, and real wage is really catching up recently. Inflation is quite low. Unemployment rate is a little bit higher than we would like to have. And our statistics accounts a little bit different than in the States. We consider when we count unemployment rate all the population of adult age which are unemployed, not only those who are looking for employment or are temporarily unemployed. As for average monthly wage, today average salary netto is $1,165 US. Brutto is 1,829. To compare to 94, my salary was $80 per month. All numbers I'm showing per month, so increase is quite significant. It's a little bit less than average in European Union. Is a bit more than average in the area, so we still consider as our competitive advantage when it comes to attraction of foreign businesses to the country. Lithuania is really a good place to start a business in, and there are a bunch of ranking numbers. Every country is trying to show off. We are number 11 in the ease of doing business by World Bank, number 1 in the world in macroeconomic stability, number 1 in global in terms of access to public Wi-Fi. And I should say that this infrastructure, ICT infrastructure in Lithuania, is really top-notch. And then I will skip other places, silver, bronze, not so important. And I would like to stress there that you might see, would see, or could see similar numbers if we would sit a representative from Poland, Latvia, Estonia, even Ukraine or Greece or Cyprus. But as I mentioned in the beginning, we are part of a big single European market with, let's say, free flow of goods, people, finance, and services. But there are some distinctions between the countries, similar like here between, let's say, Delaware and Illinois, in terms of what incentives governments give to businesses, or what are comparative advantages, taxation, let's say, labor force, etc. So I'd like to show you a little bit more of that. When we talk about export structure, I already mentioned 30 years ago, 100% United States or Russia. Today we have truly well-diversified export structure geographically and sector-wise. You will find the United States with 6.6% of exported goods destination in the world in 6th place. And it's really, really great to see that as we call, distant markets are reachable, and Lithuanian goods are finding their place in United States market. When we're talking about foreign direct investment, next slide, please. Two things to stress there. We could not perform so good without three things, without help from the international community after regaining the independence. So structural reforms, financial instruments, and foreign direct investment. So foreign companies coming to Lithuania, they brought not only money, but technologies, know-how, different culture, corporate culture, and different directions of mutual bilateral cooperation. You see that during the recent 10 years, United States or businesses from United States are in the top place by foreign direct investment, which came to Lithuania, and I will elaborate a little bit more further. Next slide, please. So there are, I've chosen several projects, several investment projects from United States to Lithuania. The first name, Thermo Fisher Scientific. This is the company which bought Lithuania-owned pharmaceutical firm in 2010, and since then it started to develop its own headquarters in Vilnius. Now the headcount is more than 1,600 people. Annual sales are over 100 million euros. And this company was one of the reasons we had our exports grown last year, because they produce pharmaceuticals and chemicals for COVID vaccine and for Pfizer-BioNTech COVID vaccine, mostly. Another name, Western Union. Western Union been operating also for 11 years in Vilnius. The initial thought was to open a global business service center. Now they are employing more than 2,000 people. I'm not sure, do they include in that number artificial intelligence working places? I had a chance to see those myself, like 50 tables with computers with no people working on different tasks, and they are counted as a working place over there. So a lot of things in IT development, custom services development are going in that sector. Booking.com is another well-known name, Hollister Incorporated. This is manufacturing facility in Kaunas Free Economic Zone. They started, or they buried the capsule in 2017. They've built up a full manufacturing facility in 11.5 months from scratch. I mean, from getting the permit, from time to apply for a building permit, construction permit to the opening of a manufacturing facility. Cognizant named Dubridge, it's for me one of the significant examples. This is an IT company which is in recent couple of years among the top 50 fastest growing Illinois businesses. And founders of that company are Lithuanian expats who came here 20 years ago. So they founded that ICT company, which now employs in Kaunas more than 450 people. So where or what can Lithuania offer to foreign businesses, foreign investors? Which sectors? I was already telling, next slide please. I was already telling about what we were doing, and of course traditional industries or traditional sectors are still very vital in Lithuania, like food and beverage industry, we are really strong in that, furniture industry, engineering industry. And why we call those traditional industries, because they have big inertia, and to transform them into more modern businesses takes time, know-how, technologies, money, markets, etc. Next slide, please. And some companies, they manage to do that. Lithuania is the 5th biggest IKEA supplier in the world. So if you would buy some hard furniture in an IKEA store here in Schaumburg, it most probably will be produced in Lithuania. You might find in Costco or Whole Foods, Auga Group production, some legume products like baked beans, peas, lentils, or mushrooms, organic mushroom soup. All food line they are producing is organic. Another company, Intus Windows, they're producing in Virginia high energy class windows for residential and industrial buildings. Also, we do have a representative office in Chicago area. Narbutas company, Narbutas is another furniture producer with a showroom in New York, and their first 2 sales for big industrial offices went to Joliet and Aurora. I wouldn't mention that those are big Lithuanian-owned trucking companies, but they are. Going to most innovative industries, ICT services industry, life sciences industry, high-tech engineering industry. I've already mentioned a couple of examples. Next slide, please. ICT industry is that which transformed or diversified from Soviet times defense industry. As we know that defense or military industries are one of the driving forces for technology development in the world. It happened in Lithuania, so several industries I will show you. They are developing from those times. Next slide, please. There are 2 names of Lithuanian startup unicorns. Those assets or capitalization in stocks reached over $1 billion US dollar or euro. Not so important. Vinted is used apparel resale platform, which just 2 weeks ago entered Canada market. It's a really big business in European Union, and it's kind of this new wave of thinking about business, not only of the economic performance, what's good for shareholders, but about sustainability, social security, and other things. Another unicorn, Nord Securities, with the best, according to PCMag, VPN service in the world. They have another products in cybersecurity, and all you could see also those on US market. Life sciences, 2 slides, please. Life sciences industry, big topic, a big recent topic. once in 2 years, we're holding Life Science Baltic conference in Lithuania. This year we decided to make it digital. It will be in the middle of September, so those working in life sciences or interested in life sciences might check that. Two big names, Thermo Fisher Scientific, I've already mentioned that name. They just announced are building new production facility, will produce COVID vaccine entirely in Lithuania. Norway Biotech is a Lithuanian company which recently opened their headquarters in Boston facility. So they do produce different molecular pharmaceutical things, and most clientele is a United States company, so they decided to be closer to their customers. And they claim that they already invented or created the medicine against coronavirus with their Swiss partners. So now this medicine is clinically tested, and maybe till the end of this year we will see some results. High-tech engineering is another field where we might have some global and innovative impact. Company Nano Avionics, with headquarters in Vilnius, offices in the UK and United States. They are one of the leading producers in the world of mini and micro satellites. They are participating in SpaceX programs. One of them is Aurora, and just recent we've sent more than 50 satellites up in the sky. That guy in the top corner, his company Starlink just registered an office in Vilnius, Lithuania. I was still wondering, will it be a big boom in there, but the sign is already good. I was showing that bluish bus. It's company name Dancer Bus. So its valuation is 1,000 times less than Nikola, but this company has already operating product which is produced from recycled plastics and is fully electrical, and charging time is 6 minutes. So company is promising that their next production line charging time of this bus will be 1 minute. So driver unfortunately will not have a time to have his coffee during the stop. But a bus was running all 360 days a year, and Lithuanian climate is similar to Illinois, with winters and summers, and no breakage. Big thing, we will skip this nano capital made by Lithuanian laser companies, 600,000 times smaller than original building you can observe in Digital Library of Congress. Very important sector, transport and logistics. We're representing crossroads between west and east, north and south. Lithuania has a geographical center of Europe in Lithuania. And let's say, if we're looking just at the European Union map, it's somewhere. But in the map of Europe is very, very center. One of the companies, next slide please, represented over here, Hegelmann Transporter. They will have chance to present themselves today, later.
About 4 minutes. Yeah.
In 4 minutes, okay, so I'm wrapping up. In 4 minutes, and I will ask Tom to scroll through slides, maybe I will say stop somewhere. Why we are considering ourselves as a best place to come for businesses and the best place to invest. Labor force, our people, it's our top resource, top natural resource. And they create a lot of things. World-class infrastructure, mentioned already, business-friendly environment, booming digital economy, progress, innovation, perfect place for traveling. And to the last slide, please. So this is, I should say that our government is really very proactive in thinking all different things and incentives for businesses, local ones and foreign ones, to come to Lithuania to do business, like fintech, govtech, life sciences. We have created different sandboxes to play in. And the recent project is Green Corridor for giga investment projects. So you would see the size of investment required to get all those incentives. But I should say that we take care of every businesses coming to Lithuania. And if everyone is willing to come to Lithuania to establish business, to scale operations, to become a part of 400 million European market, welcome. Thank you.